Umuodo village was once a place of laughter, filled with moonlight dances, wrestling matches, and the sound of drums echoing deep into the night. But all of that changed when the ghost came. It began with whispers. At first, the villagers thought it was the wind, carrying voices from the forest. But the whispers grew clearer, calling names of people who were still alive. Chike, the farmer, was the first to hear it. Returning from his farm late, he passed the ancient silk cotton tree and heard a woman weeping softly. When he stopped, the crying turned into laughter, cold, hollow laughter that echoed inside his bones. Terrified, Chike ran, dropping his basket and hoe. He did not look back, but he swore he felt something chasing him, breathing against his neck. The next morning, the villagers found his hoe stuck deep in the earth, upright as if hammered by unseen hands. His basket was torn, the cassava scattered and smeared with blood that wasn't his. That night, the village dogs barked endlessly, their eyes glowing strangely red. Chickens refused to enter their coops, and goats broke loose from their ropes, bleeding into the night. At midnight, the great bell in the village square rang by itself, though no hand touched it. The sound was deafening, echoing across the huts, waking everyone in fear. Mothers clutched their children tightly, fathers whispered prayers, and the elders gathered in silence, their faces pale, knowing an old curse had returned. The next victim was Ada, a young maiden. She had gone to fetch water from the stream before dawn. When she returned, her eyes were wide, and her voice was gone. She pointed toward the forest, trembling, but no words came. Later, she scratched on the mud floor with her finger. She was there. The villagers grew restless. Children refused to sleep. Old women spoke of a maiden named Nneka, who had died long ago under the silk cotton tree, accused of witchcraft and buried without honor. They said she had been innocent, that the villagers had wronged her, that her spirit had never rested. Each night after that, more hauntings came. Shadows moved across walls. Though no lamps were lit, pots cracked in half without reason. Fires burned cold, giving no warmth. Men walking home from the palm wine tap claimed they saw a woman in white, standing by the path. When they looked closely, her face was gone, only a hollow skull with empty sockets. Hunters returned from the forest with stories of broken traps and strange footprints circling them, footprints too small to be a man's, yet too deep to belong to a child. One night, the village drum, kept in the square, began to beat itself. The sound was slow and heavy, like the heartbeat of a giant. No one dared to stop it. Children cried out in their sleep, claiming a cold hand touched them. Some woke up with scratches on their arms, though no one had entered their huts. The elders decided to call Dibia Okonkwo, a feared medicine man from a neighboring town. When he arrived, the villagers gathered in the square, desperate for answers. Okonkwo lit a sacred fire and threw white chalk into the flames. The fire roared, and a voice came out of it, a woman's voice, weeping and laughing at once. The Dibia revealed the truth. The ghost was indeed Nneka. She had been wronged, buried without honor, her name cursed. Her spirit had returned, not for peace, but for vengeance.
That night, Okonkwo performed rituals under the silk cotton tree. He poured palm wine and sprinkled blood of a black goat. But suddenly, the ground shook, and a terrible wail erupted from the tree. The villagers saw her then, Nneka. Her gown was torn, her skin pale like ash, and her eyes glowed red like fire. Her hair hung long, dripping water, as though she had just risen from the river. She raised her hands, and the flames of the ritual fire went out. Darkness swallowed the entire square. When the light returned, 3 villagers lay on the ground, lifeless, their mouths frozen open in silent screams. Panic erupted. Families fled into their huts, locking their doors, but doors could not stop her. She moved like smoke, seeping through cracks, whispering into people's ears until they bled. The next morning, chickens were found dead, tied together by their necks. The village stream ran red, not with blood, but with something that looked like it. No one dared drink. Okonkwo warned the people that only a great sacrifice could appease. Nneka, not animals, not food, but a sacrifice of honor. They would need to unearth her body, cleanse it, and give her a proper burial. At first, The villagers resisted. To dig up the dead was taboo. But that night, Nneka's laughter echoed so loudly that huts shook. Mothers fainted. Infants wailed. The people knew they had no choice. Under the fearful eyes of the entire village, the elders dug beneath the sil-cotton tree. When they found her grave, the coffin was empty. Only a bundle of white cloth lay inside, soaked in fresh blood. Okonkwo declared a cleansing ceremony. Drums beat all night. Chants filled the air and sacrifices were made. At midnight, Nneka appeared again. But this time, she was calmer. Her eyes no longer burned, though her presence chilled everyone. With a voice like the wind through dry leaves, she whispered, "Remember me." Then she vanished into the tree. From that night, peace returned, but the villagers swore never to pass the sil-cotton tree at midnight, for they knew she was still watching.